And welcome back to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. Quick shout out to Orna. Nice to see you watching us on Facebook, Orna, Valerie, Gregory, Slavica, some dear friends. Thank you all for tuning in on Facebook. And yes, for those just listening, if you want a video and see what Itzhak looks like here in studio, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Talking Alternative, and you should see our live stream. I'm so glad this is working out. So it's like we were talking before about, how the unseen world affects sort of what we see. And, the truth is, if scientifically even you look at things, we only see a very small spectrum of light with our physical eyes, that there's actually a lot more stuff going on than we perceive with our physical eyes. And even our brains, what registers consciously in our brains is only a very tiny percentage. I think I've heard, like, they did some study, like, we take in something like 2 billion bits of information a second, yet only 2,000 bits of information actually registers consciously. So there's actually quite a lot going on that we're not really perceiving. So it actually does make sense that there is more to this world than what we're experiencing through our five senses. And if there is a lot going on, it can actually affect our day-to-day life.
Well, if you take, for instance, the bee's eyes or the fruit fly eyes,
right?
They have the capacity of seeing much more than human eyes. They don't see the same world that we do. No. Even cats or dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, if in the last workshop that I was talking to the students there, I told them, just look at yourself as the most primitive creature who have a very limited ability to perceive the world. All the other animals all around us see the world in a totally different way.
Right. Right.
And just because we are so limited, that doesn't mean that what we see is true.
Right.
In other words,
or is the complete truth?
Of course.
Yeah.
The fruit fly see colors in such a gamut that we cannot even imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't know what they see because they have so many more cells in their eyes.
Yeah.
So for us, it's such a terrible assumption that we know.
Right.
We really don't know.
Right.
Our smell sense is very weak. Take any dog,
yes.
he's better than us.
Yes, absolutely.
He can smell for thousands of meters or yards away and hear.
Yes.
We don't hear.
Yes.
We really very limited.
Yes.
We are handicapped creatures.
Yes.
And we have attempt to rule the universe.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, right? We think we in the West especially, we're so stuck in our heads and we think we know everything, yet we're really not even perceiving 1% of what's going on around us.
Absolutely. And I think that really, as I go personally into this journey, and I'm doing it for 20 years now, or 21 years, today I know that I don't know. Really, I don't know. I mean, really, I'm touching a little bit of knowledge.
Right.
It's not that I can't talk about it for hours and hours and hours, and I know a little bit, but the understanding that I truly don't know.
Yeah.
We are touching. We don't know how many dimensions there are for the universe. We don't know where this wisdom came from.
Right.
We don't know where the iCloud comes from, how we connect to it.
Right.
We don't know what the influence of our ancestor on ourselves. We hardly even. I mean, I have the gift of seeing, so I can see people's thoughts, or I can see them.
What do you mean by that? The gift of seeing?
Well, I can perceive.
Okay.
What we call spirit,
okay,
or holograms.
Okay.
So around each of us, there are spirits. We are not alone.
No. I understand it's pretty crowded out there.
It's pretty crowded for some people.
Yeah.
That's why we need to do La Limpia or cleansing ceremony to remove negative energy and to remove ancestry blockages and all that.
Can I put you on the spot for a second? You know what I'm going to ask, right?
About your grandmother?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask who's around me, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, she's there.
My grandmother. I'm with my mom's grandma, my mom's mom, and my dad's mom. My mom's mom.
Your mom's, yeah.
Ah, okay. All right, cool. All right, tell her I say hi. You know, I've actually never met any of my grandparents. They all passed before my parents married, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's all there.
Yeah.
The fact that some people see visually like I do, and some people have more of a feeling, intuition.
Right. The different clairs, right? Yeah. The clairaudience, clairsentience, clair. Like I consider myself claircognizant. Like I just know things sometimes.
Yeah.
But I know other people, they're more clairsentient. They feel things.
Exactly.
See things. Yeah.
So, but the ability, the intuitive ability, is built in our genes. And it's built in our genes because of our own survival.
Yeah.
We would not have that if we didn't need this way of perceiving the world for our own physical survival on this earth.
Right.
We need to know where danger come from, right?
Right.
We need to know the weather to predict the weather. It's part built in with our senses.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't
pay attention to it most of the time.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Right. So like the subtitle of your book, Gift of Shamanism, is Visionary Power, Ayahuasca Dreams, and Journeys to Other Realms. So that's, I guess, part of the visionary power, right? That when we can learn to perceive more than what's just appears to be physically in front of us, that actually gives us power to empower us to live better lives, to be safer, to know a good course of action to follow.
Yes, and that is very important. You know, also once you start to perceive the world in a larger way, you start to develop relationship with the energy of the trees, the energies of the mountains, the energy of water, the energy of your ancestors. You become integrated. It's not just you against the universe. And I think that's really a disease of the Western world. That we think that we are separate from the world. We are integrated. We are one animal together with the rest. Our future is ingrained with all of us, everything around us. It's not separated. We cannot control. We cannot control the weather. We can destroy, but we can control. And I think that's when you start to have this responsibility. Then you're responsible for any recycling, every tree that you cut, everything that every mine that you dig in, every pollution that you throw. You live with the earth. Right.
And you know, it's really by not being conscious and being connected to the planet, we're really only hurting ourselves. I mean, we're hurting other animals too, but ultimately, like when I hear people say, oh, we've got to save the planet, I always kind of say to myself, no, the planet is going to be around long after we are. We've got to save the environment for ourselves, because if we don't, we're going to make things so toxic that us as human beings are not going to be able to survive.
Well, you can see it now. I mean, the rise of cancer.
Yes.
The rise of diabetes. You know, the diabetes now is from 2008 until now. It's only 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's
quadruple.
Quadruple.
It's crazy.
Now, you ask yourself, why? Because of all the processed food, because of the GMO, because of all the Monsanto, and because of the food industry is our biggest enemy of our health.
Right.
and the people who are sitting in those corporations, they don't believe that their children will eat the same crap that they give us to eat.
Yeah. I can't understand it. You know, the whole concept that I learned a long time ago, even from a sort of a self-centered point of view, the idea of enlightened self-interest. You know, we think like, oh, these people are just selfish, but it's like we get cut off from the fact that when we do what's right for other people, we're doing what's right for ourselves as well. Yet somehow we think we're immune to the effects of what we're doing.
Well, I think it's a part of our responsibility too. We have to stop eating this kind of food.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, why do you have to eat all this garbage you buy in supermarkets?
Right.
Stop it.
Right. Yeah.
If you stop it, then these big corporations will change.
Right.
Those people who sit in the corporations, they have a lot of pressure too.
Right.
They have to because you buy their stocks, they have to perform.
Right.
So change your way. We have to change our way.
Vote with your wallet. I say all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
Vote with your wallet. We just got a couple of minutes before break, but I did want to touch upon the next subtext, which is ayahuasca dreams. As we kind of briefly mentioned during the break when people couldn't hear us, and you said you have sort of a little bit of a controversial attitude towards ayahuasca because it's becoming very popular. I interviewed this guy who was like an advertising executive who went down to Peru and had an ayahuasca ceremony and totally changed his life and this and that. And I just want you to contribute your perspective because so many people are really talking about it now.
I'll be happy to.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll tell you, we'll go out to break and we'll do that right when we come back. Everybody, you're listening to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, and we'll be right back.